Hello and welcome back to My Opinion You're Welcome. All our millions of fans out there, I just wanted to say hello. Tony, how's your day doing?
It's fucking hot. That's all I can say about today's. I don't know if I want to commit homicide or suicide. That's how hot it is.
And explain the attire today?
Well, sleeveless because it's hot. I know. I said, I'm even going to show my old lady fat arms and I don't care. It's too hot for sleeves. And you're wearing a fucking sweater, so I don't know. White boy.
We weren't talking about white boy. No, we're back to the white guy. No, I didn't have any change of clothes, so Mark let me borrow one of his shirts, and he wears clothes that fit him. I wear big baggy clothes.
And you wore no clothes today because
I'm not smart. I got to ask a question. Tony and I were talking earlier today, and you were talking about the devil's ass. Can you explain that?
Because you called me up and said, "What's the weather like?" And I said, "It's like fucking Satan's asshole." It's hot. It's hot. I can't be nice in this weather.
It is fucking hot. Yeah. That's for sure. So you've had a good day other than that?
Yeah, because I have central air. Thank you. You know, there's two things I always say. I don't care what they cost. Gasoline and air conditioning. I'm never going to say, oh, that's too much. I'm always going to buy those two things.
Okay.
You know, I'll cheap out on other stuff, but those two I'm not cheaping out on.
Cheaping out. That's a good expression. What are you cheaping out on?
No, I mean, there's certain foods I don't buy until they're on sale. Certain things.
Well, how do you know foods are on sale, though?
Because there's this thing called a circular that comes in the mail and tells you certain stores what's on sale.
Oh,
there's a whole world out there when you eat more than eggs does.
Not funny. But anyhow, it's fucking hilarious. Wait, a circular. I literally have no idea.
It's the free newspaper that comes in the mail, and you probably just toss it out or you throw garbage in it. That's from the different stores.
And they tell you they're having a sale.
It tells you every week what's on sale.
Oh, son of a gun. Oh, well, I didn't know that. I guess I'm going to have to look at my mail. See,
But it's good that you don't have to know that, because some people wait. Oh, chicken's on sale this week. Boom. I got my first, rain check. The first time in my life. I was like, you know what? No, you're out of it. I want it. I need a rain check. He's like, I've never written one. I go, I never got one, so we'll figure it out together.
So you went to a grocery store. Something was supposed to be on sale. It wasn't on sale. So
it was on sale, but they were out.
And so they gave you a rain check, meaning that
I can get it at the regular price, but on sale price. So once they're in stock, I can walk in, have that item on the, the conveyor.
Grocery stores do that?
Apparently, yeah.
Which grocery store?
Any grocery store.
Holy shit. Not Mother's Market, because that's down in Southern California, and they're a bunch of snobby bastards. Just wanted to throw that out there. But I had no idea.
You who never mentions names.
Well, fuck them all. No, it just white trash, race bullshit. Yeah, I'll tell you about Mother's Market. I walked in there when not to where I don't live here, but I was down there July 11th of last year. I walk into one, and the lady looks at me, and she goes, "You're not from here?" I said, "No." She goes, "Well, this is White Republican." And I looked at her, and I'm like, this is on Pacific Coast Highway, and it's in Sunset Beach.
So her food is White Republican?
I have no idea what the fuck. And she's like, you're new to here. You must be passing through. And I said, ma'am, why would you mention White Republican? She goes, well, I just want you, if you're living here, I want you to know what you got to deal with. And let me tell you, it's been pretty fucking horrendous down there. But I only shopped there that day because I was fucking hungry. Guess what I got?
Eggs.
It was 10 minutes to 9. That's the only thing I could get that night.
That's because you were behind the orange curtain.
Orange County is a very interesting town. You got a lot of, just like the guy at Starbucks, you just have a lot of people that are, I don't understand, we talk about privilege, but when people believe they're privileged because they have nice clothes, cars, homes, they believe they're better than you. My opinion is, you probably are. No, my opinion is they're not. Because I always find it funny, and you've met many people. You ever see someone with a nice car, nice house, nice clothes, but they can't pay their own fucking bills.
Yeah,
and that's the thing
that's called new rich. Yeah, yeah.
It's just
they're living way above their pay grade to impress.
Yeah, and I see that a lot down there, but you see it everywhere, but it's a little annoying. But anyhow, I got a question to ask you. You a Christmas fan?
I am.
What you got, like something special you like to do around Christmas?
There's certain shows I like to watch.
White Christmas?
No.
Fuck me, I like that one. Go ahead. What else?
Certain shows I like to watch. Certain foods I like to make.
What?
Shopping with friends.
What foods? What's a Christmas food besides a turkey?
Christmas cookies, making Christmas cookies. Because I'm not a baker, but that's the one time a year I will bake.
And what's the movies?
I like the one with the kid Ralphie. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, what's that called?
With the gun?
A Christmas Story, yeah.
A Christmas
You'll
Story?
shoot your eye out.
Well, the reason why I ask, there's a strike here in Hollywood, for writers and everything. I think that the elves should go on strike because I don't think they're paid. What do you think about that?
The elves?
Yes.
Should go on strike. I mean, everybody else strikes. So.
No, you think about it. Who the fuck puts all these things together for everybody who believes in Santa Claus? I believe in Santa Claus. I believe in the Tooth Fairy. Think about who came up with the story of the Tooth Fairy. Do you know who?
No idea.
Did you give your daughter money for her teeth when she was younger?
The Tooth Fairy did.
Good answer. I don't think any kids that are naive are going to be watching this, but the Tooth Fairy, you think about all these different things that they have out there. The reason I'm saying this, the other night I had nothing to do, which typical, obviously. There was a movie with Dwayne Johnson. He goes by The Rock, and it was about he paid a tooth fairy, or a fairy for his daughter. I can't remember what the hell it was. I'm sitting there, and I'm embarrassedly laughing my ass off at this thing. But then you wonder, it's like, when kids are told the Tooth Fairy's going to bring money, and a friend of mine, the reason why I'm getting to this point, is her daughter lost 2 front teeth about a month ago. She was at her grandma's. She woke up with a $100 bill. $100 bill. She goes home. She had a few more teeth. She wakes up with $20. This little girl who's 4 years old was so upset at her mom, and whoever her mom's Tooth Fairy was, as opposed to the Tooth Fairy that was at grandma's.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to the mother and daughter talk to me about it. All I can do is laugh. And she said, Dennis, before you speak, make sure you don't blow it and let her know there's no Tooth Fairy. I said, well, before I speak, you better speak because that child is going to go to grandma's now.
Yeah.
But I just think it's funny that we have all these different things that are traditional.
It's fun to keep, I think, for children.
What did you do for your child other than that?
I think kids, you got to keep the magic. Everything's magical to kids. And then we have to teach them the horrors of the world. So I think it's nice to keep a little bit of magic in it.
Oh, that's true.
I did the Tooth Fairy thing. I even fucking put glitter, around the house and stuff, cursing myself because I'm the one that's going to clean it.
Did you guys want to know the origin of the Tooth Fairy?
Yeah.
It's Scandinavian in the Vikings, actually. So back in like the mid-centuries, they would go to war. And when kids would lose their teeth, they'd pay them for it because they would wear it around their necks for luck during war.
Wow. Who knew?
Nowadays, we call them cannibals. But holy fucking shit. Really? Seriously?
Yeah. The previous way to dispose of teeth were to swallow them, bury them, or burn them because they were afraid of witches using their teeth for spells.
Oh, wow.
God, I won't be going to Scandinavians or that country, whichever one it is. Well, it's always interesting. We have all these little things. So when your girls little, did you make everything look like they were Santa? Put out cookies and milk?
Oh yeah. She would leave carrots and stuff for the reindeer, and the whole thing. And even when my daughter was an adult, when she was still living with me, I would set my alarm for like 3 a.m. Bring my wrapped shit that I either kept at a friend's house, put it in my trunk, whatever, and I'd put it out while she was sound asleep.
See,
and
I
I
think
claimed to not know anything about it.
See, I think that's awesome that you don't give up on the magic of that.
It's fun.
Like the Easter Bunny. What'd you do for Easter?
Oh, candy, of course, And again, she would sometimes leave a salad for the bunny rabbit. And so what I do is I kind of like fling it around, Again, trash in my own place. But to make it look like a rabbit came through, and nibbled.
The reason I'm asking all this is the other day I was talking to my brother and then my sister-in-law, and we have a group text with my my family, and they're potty training their little one.
Boy or girl?
A boy, a little boy.
Oh,
so I said, well, how the hell do you do that? And she goes, he likes Skittles. So I'm thinking he's going to correlate pooping and peeing with Skittles. Mm-hmm. And my sister-in-law said, whatever it takes. I said, this has to be funny. You people got to videotape this stuff for me. And it didn't work. I guess
boys are harder. Boys are harder. They walk later than girls. They go on the potty later than girls.
I just think it's funny. If you're going to have a child and you want all that, you deserve whatever hell you go through for the potty training.
My kid was so smart. I mean, she wasn't even 2. And she went to the phone and picked it up. This was before cell phones, and said, bring me pizza And then she turned to me and said, "Give me money." And I was like, my kid just thought she ordered takeout. Oh my God. I was so proud. She wasn't even this many,
Oh my God. Well, that's funny about kids. I'm always mesmerized when I see little kids out in public and the shit that they do. There's always, if there's a group of 2 or 3 kids, there's always one that is destined for jail.
Oh,
Always one of these little kids just screaming. I went to dinner and the mother had 3 kids, 2 boys and a little girl. The little girl's destined for women's penitentiary.
Sometimes you could tell when
she
the
took
poll
the
is in
salt
future.
shaker. Her brother went to the bathroom. She took the salt shaker. She undid the top. He came back. French fries came, and they have kid meals there. He went to pour the salt. And this girl laughed for literally 10 minutes.
Yeah.
She was butt gusting laugh, and the mother's sitting like this. The boy is crying, and the girl's over there saying, "I told you so. I told you so." And it was funnier than hell, but there's always that one child that is just going to go crazy.
But you don't know what he did to her first.
That was her fault. No, he didn't do anything. He's a little boy. Boys are good little boys. That's the other thing. Here's the thing that I can't stand. It's on this, but when people tell little girls, and no matter what age a girl is, well, if a boy hits you or a boy makes something rude to you, it's because he likes you. That is the worst advice any of you fucking idiots can give to your parents, because then it makes people feel that they have to accept that. Don't do that to your kids. Don't tell boys that. And I still hear it from people.
Or tell kiss uncle, shkivats, whatever, it's like.
You got an Uncle Shkivats ever. Can we change it? Let's Uncle.
But you know what I mean? You
sounds like a Scandinavian.
Because they're a relative or whatever.
Well, that'd be like walking up, this is your aunt. You got to fuck her. Okay. I mean, maybe not. Not in your family, mine. Well, we weren't related. We were heathens when I was younger. We all lived in a big barn, kind of like the Jim Jones place. We had different families. We called each other. I have fucking no idea what I'm talking about.
Where you're going or.
So, but when you were younger, did you get that stuff about you have to, kiss or hug an aunt or an uncle?
Oh yeah, and I didn't like it. My great grandmother was still alive then, and she was old and the hair on the chin and this and that, and she'd give us the little fucking white net with the almond candies, and I'm a fat kid and I'm allergic to almonds, but we don't know what allergies are back then. It makes my mouth itch. Shut up. Whatever.
Let's get to the hair on the chin. What was that about?
She was 90-something.
Isn't that funny? My great-grandmother, when she passed away, was in her 90s. Same thing. It's kind of like...
You got to have your ride or die that's going to pluck your chin hair when you can no longer do it, I'm just saying. I mean, I've been in the hospital without a mirror, without a plucker. I've called girlfriends, help!
All right. Another one I want to act about. They got the writer's strike. You got the actor's strike. That affects you. So how do you and your friends think about now they're both gone on strike today? I mean, now today is the official day.
Midnight, yeah. I only caught part of Fran Drescher's speech, but I believe a lot of it is because the big moguls are getting millions and millions of dollars, and the smaller people aren't able to pay their mortgages. I saw a wonderful thing on TikTok today with Mandy Patinkin. Was walking the picket line and whatever, and that's what he was saying. People can't pay their mortgages, and it's not fair that some people are getting so rich and some people are getting nothing. There's got to be, and he said, which I loved, he said there's nothing without the written page. It's true, and I know they're trying to get AI to write scripts now. Yeah, good luck with that.
Is that Alvin Iverson, the basketball player, or
artificial intelligence? You dick.
Calling me a penis. Thank you. Well, I think it's interesting, and I understand both sides, but I always look at it this way. We talk about responsibility day. We talk about different things. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, there are people I know that work for the state of California, probably a certain amount of money they make, excellent credit, not behind on a bill. I think the sad thing about in the entertainment industry is when a lot of people get a job, they go spend the money they make before they even have it because they think, it's going to go further, rather than being smart about it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people rather than living, I don't want to say frugal, but people just go live opulent lives without something coming down.
Your next job, yeah.
Yeah, and
jobs get canceled. I have a friend who's, the show's canceled, then the writer's strike came, and I know she's got money put away, but it's been a while now.
And it's true. It's kind of like the pandemic. So many things were happening before the pandemic. When it happened, then people stayed home and all that. Then people were forgot about in certain jobs. No one paid attention to them. So people lost their jobs in fields that they were making money before. So many people have tried. That's why I wanted to ask you, do you think with the pandemic that there was any good things from the pandemic, or do you think it's all a negative thing from the pandemic?
Well, I mean, people died. People will have lasting effects the rest of their lives. So that's horrible. But I think the good thing is it might have a positive effect on the environment because so many people are working remotely. That will never go back because they found they could do it cheaper, better, more efficient. And it's sad that we had to have a pandemic to figure that out. But, I mean, think about when it first hit. The first time in the food store, that line down the aisle. And I remember thanking every kid who was working, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. This is before we even had masks, gloves, anything.
Remember when toilet paper was like worth gold during the pandemic? No,
Yeah,
seriously.
my Facebook page was me with freaking goggles on because I went out with goggles like I shoot in, my mask, a cowboy hat. I had 2 guns like this and a bunch of toilet paper behind me. And that was my Facebook page.
But it's the pandemic. It's if you look throughout history, certain things cleared people from the earth. It's like we're overpopulated. If you look at it, wars did that. All these so-called religious wars were cleansing, plagues. So it's something that's natural. And, I look at it, it's sad for the people who passed away. I mean, that's nothing. But there's so many wonderful things that have happened from it. It's like with the industry, I deal some stuff in, mental health and chemical addiction. Now people are getting more help. People who deal with mental health issues, they've changed rules and laws to where they can get help now because the pandemic really caused a lot of people to isolate, go into depression. More babies were born, more people went through divorces. Businesses have lost so much, such as real estate, when you have like businesses and offices that are going to be rented by the state. A lot of them aren't going back to work.
Oh, I know. Ventura Boulevard, to me, looked post-apocalyptic with all the businesses shut down.
Well, look at the restaurants. I mean, you worked at one for a long time and it shut down. Well, the owner's a piece of shit. It was Jerry's Deli. You're a loser, fucker. The reality is the way you treated people was wrong. But that went away and you guys were there for years helping. I'm always amazed when people help someone make money. When something goes bad, the first thing they do is get rid of the people who helped them make the money. And that's the hard part But the pandemic has also brought a lot more people into using social media. Before pandemic, do you ever Zoom?
No. I might have once or twice for a job, and I had no idea what the fuck I was
I had no idea what the hell Zoom was. I had FaceTime on my phone. I don't like looking at myself, so I'd never FaceTime, didn't know. But before the pandemic, did you guys ever use Zoom?
No, not really. Actually for classes.
And just so you know, Jai, the
Hybrid
producer, is
classes.
talking, and Gabby, she's also with the production company. She's talking.
Yeah, no.
So, but not as much as after, right?
Right. I think it's once or twice for acting.
Here's what goes to my mind. How the hell is Zoom making the money? Because half the freaking world is Zooming now. Because it's,
Pay for it.
Yeah.
I've got Zoom and I've never, really?
I think you might have like a free version where it taps out after 45 minutes.
I sound so stupid and illiterate
I
right
got a
now because
free
I'm here. I'd be wondering because I have Zoom.
No, I mean, that's true though. Like, how do they make their money?
So who
especially
pays
when a
for-
lot of people do it.
So, okay, here's
free.
the
If
production
you want to go longer
company.
than 45 minutes, you got to pay for an account. And then you have to pay for an account if you have more than 100 people. If you
Yeah,
have
a
more
lot of
than-
businesses.
So that's
I
like the
think-
production company. You guys you Zoom with people, so you have an account.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. There you go.
Skype
I didn't know.
People that go
Skype
on
is gone.
meetings online and stuff, they're paying for a Zoom account.
Well, it's funny during the pandemic. A friend of mine, she had a daughter. She was in what's right after what's before 6 years old. What is that? Preschool. So I was at the house once, and it was kind of like watching the Brady Bunch. She had a computer, and there's 37 kids on the computer, and the teacher. All you heard was the teacher going, "Susan, come back. Johnny, where'd you go? Mabel, what you?" And her daughter just kept getting up, leaving. So the teacher said, "If you have to go to the bathroom, raise your pinky." Within 30 seconds, you saw like 20 pinkies go. But it was so hard for kids, I would imagine. I mean, I have ADD as an adult. It's hard for me to sit here, for Christ's sake. How the education of our kids, and I'm getting to a point, how it affected the young kids because young kids
and
need to interact.
Parents, because they no longer had the free daycare. The parents
true.
are having to more or less homeschool.
And it's hell.
What a new respect for teachers. I was hoping through that teacher salaries would have gone through the roof.
No, they're still paying teachers like shit. The reason I'm getting there is because I think to myself, what is your opinion? I think schools are wonderful education, but I don't think schools, once you get to high school and college, they teach you success. they basically teach you how to fail, in my opinion. You come out educated, but they don't teach you how to work in whatever field you're in.
Right. Well, they don't teach. They teach theory. They don't teach application.
Yeah.
It's as far as I'm concerned, you learn how to read, then you read to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to be taught to question authority, to question things, and not just be a follower, not just take the info and spit it out.
So,
what's your thoughts on it?
All those out there who are listening, that's what it is about the Bible. You have to listen, you have to learn, and read for yourself. All those people think I'm going to hell. But no, I just think it's sad because you have a lot of kids that don't really have a good education now.
Well, so many are just being pushed through. When I see,
other
TikToks,
countries, it's not that
when
way.
When they ask people questions, young people, and they're as dumb as a bag of hair. I mean, it's really embarrassing.
You do realize people sell hair to cancer patients and they get money?
Yes.
That was a fucked up statement. I'm sorry.
I have donated. I used to have hair like down to I used to donate.
And did you get paid?
No, I donated.
Oh, you donated?
I donated.
See, when I cut my hair, I want to get paid.
I'll call you a dick again.
You could always sell it like on those,
That's right. We could sell it on those sites where people belch and burp and smell and all kinds of stuff. It's so funny. We were doing something earlier today.
I could see a market for that.
We were doing something earlier today, and it was quite funny. I'm sitting there, and Jai was helping adjust some clothes, and then all of a sudden, Jai farted. But no,
I did not. I was down there, and he tooted right in my face.
And
you tooted?
Oh my God!
He farted right in my face. I was like,
I'm laughing so hard. And I didn't know what to say. I just sat there, and my first thing I was to say, it wasn't me.
Excuse me.
No.
we got it on camera. There's the evidence.
It was fun. It was funnier and shit.
It's the dog.
But what I'm getting at about taking responsibility for your actions.
Say sorry.
Whether it's out of your mouth or out of your ass.
Either way.
I'll say I'm sorry, Jai. But I just think, well, the reason I'm saying that as well, so the kids are on there, and all of a sudden you hear this little kid say, I gotta poop. And I'm laughing because I'm a real immature person. And the next thing you hear, this little kid goes, already done, and just stares.
He's too late.
But that's the beauty of kids. Yes. Just like you were talking earlier, they just don't like the potty training thing. I think is hilarious. I don't know if I could ever do that with a kid.
Kids don't have a filter.
Well, how do you potty train a child? Because you got to help them.
You have to know their timing.
Do you wipe their ass?
Yeah, of course you do.
With what?
Toilet paper. What do you wipe your ass with? Fucking seashell?
I have an assistant.
I know. I want to get that attachment, like
a bidet.
Right?
Yeah, I'm getting one.
I heard once you do it, you can't go back.
Whoa.
It's especially
I know what
nice
a bidet is. So you're
ladies.
telling me whether you go poop or pee, the bidet
cleans you.
How the hell does it clean you when paper doesn't clean you?
It shoots water up your...
I know it shoots water, but most people use that for pleasure.
You just finish off, I think, with just a little bit of paper instead of going through so much paper.
Ladies, I think you got excited when I said they use it for pleasure. Oh my God, Gabby, is that what you're talking about? Gabby's from Ireland, ladies and
gentlemen. There's a feature
gentlemen.
on the bidet that can go back and forth.
The pakakya.
Yeah, the pakakya.
The clitoris, is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
See, but I think that's amazing because you don't really get, okay, let's get to that. In Europe, you have them all over. I don't think you have many hotels that have them here.
No.
So you'd have to buy.
America doesn't
Asian
prioritize
countries,
a clean butt.
What does?
America doesn't really prioritize clean butt.
And the Asian countries, mod on to me. They got buttons that do everything. For all that, yeah.
They're pretty expensive.
And they have like the heated seats.
Mm-hmm. They have
Heated
sounds
seats.
of music. So if you're doing something, they have also where the tank is, the top, water comes out there that you can wash your hands on and is recycled to, they're just smarter than us.
What? Really?
I don't think if anybody's going poop,
I don't know about that.
they want that water to be washed.
No.
Oh.
It's water that comes on top first for your hands and then goes down to flush your whatever away.
I just want to get back to the debats. Bidet? Ben Moss. Wait, no, what are those little
No,
things?
those are balls.
Those are beignets. Bidet.
Beignets. It's all food to me. Sorry. But so
Don't
really.
go to a restaurant and order Benoit's. That is not food.
I'd like a bidet, please. Follow me, sir. Thank you. All right, Susan. But with kids, though, like what other type of things when your daughter was young, not just about potty training, but did you do the kind of like give treats, give rewards for like school, because I know it's hard for me to read.
As a parent,
How do you do that as a parent?
Your child's first teacher, and you are teaching that a human being learns more in their first 3 years than they do the rest of their life. They're learning how to walk, how to talk. They're learning language. They learn more in the first 3 years than they do for the rest of their lives. And also, I'm going to say something that I'm going to bitch about being it's hot out. Your skin, you are more apt to get skin cancer or whatever if you get overexposed to sun in your first 3 years of life. I was driving down here. I yelled out the window to one mother, with the hat, and the kid's wide open in this sun. And then another guy walking his fucking dog on the black top, and it's 100 degrees out. I wanted to say, why don't you put your face on that and see how that feels? Like, oh, I get so mad.
Does that only account for like pale skinned people?
No. I was a Girl Scout leader, and baby, I slapped sunscreen on right across the boards. Yes, I chased the little redheads harder, but my Latina kids, my black kids, you still, because your pigment is still coming in.
Yeah.
You know, think about
that's what I was thinking. Because I'm like, what about Africa? You know.
Well, their skin is beautiful.
Yeah,
No,
but the first 3 years of life, they're
Yeah.
exposed to the sun.
Well, I think if you're talking about exposure, then that's why a lot of you men out there have small penises. First 3 years is when it grew. I just want to let you know. So what do you think of that?
What?
You said the first 3 years. So have you ever met someone with, not that I personally have, but I've seen movies on medical issues that, you know.
Oh, micro penis?
Thank you very much. Yes, I saw one the other day. I'm watching. I'm like, going,
I'd rather.
is that a pimple? And I'm like, whoa, maybe it's not. Then all of a sudden, a little head popped out. I'm like, ah! But anyhow, I guess what channel that is.
I don't want to watch that channel.
Discovery?
Speaking of penises, have you had any fun lately?
I don't even date. I
don't date either, but I mean, dating and sex are two different things.
Well, I don't do that. It's been many years.
Are you someone when you did you have to have an emotional connection, or was it just let's get to going?
Well, it depended on where I was in life.
Yeah.
You know, there's a time in my life when it was only if I was connected with somebody, and there was a time in my life when it was just fucking indoor sports. It just depends on where I was.
Just indoor?
Exercise, whatever you want to call it.
Memories. Oh, that just brought back vision of Barbra Streisand.
Oh.
No, in the film Nuts. Did you ever see the film Nuts, the play?
Yeah.
Have you ladies ever seen it? Great film. The lady has sex for money. Something happens, blah, blah, blah. They're saying you can't have sex for money. She looks at the judge. She goes, is it okay? And not word for it. Is it okay if I take a gift of money? The judge said yes. And she goes, I take the gift of money. It was basically someone trying to call her a whore, saying that she shouldn't take money. But it was one of the best scenes I've ever seen. And she was not only an amazing singer, but damn, the woman could act.
Yeah.
Funny Girl.
Oh.
Yeah.
And didn't they just redo Funny Girl?
Yeah, with did a couple. What's her name? Michelle, the one from Glee.
Oh, from Glee. Michelle.
I know
she's
she
the
did
girl
it in
from
Glee.
Leah Michelle. So they did.
Yeah, it's on Broadway.
On Broadway, yeah. That girl's got a great voice. Personal issues, I don't know about. Read about it once.
Well, I just saw Tina at the Pantages. I mean, I've been a Tina Turner fan, try to say that, since the 60s. And
TTTA.
the gal who sang was incredible. And I looked at the playbill, and there were two Tinas. And it reminded me when I saw Evita back in the late 70s in New York with Patti LuPone. She didn't do the matinees because it was too much to do two in one day. And I think that's what's going on with the two Tinas.
Probably.
I mean, I don't know, but that'd be my guess.
Hopefully they come out with a Tina Turner biopic soon.
Now,
Besides, I mean, without the abuse, because I know she didn't really like bringing
people
that up.
bring that. But
Yeah.
just think about her life, what she went through. One of the first African American women to really break through, but her talent. Even in their 70s, when she get up there on that glitter dress and just shake, and then she
started
did
doing rock. Like
Right.
And
when
the
she
voice.
left Ike.
Yeah.
She didn't want any more of that tired, I'm so sad music.
her range. But I think that a lot of things that brought her to a younger generation is when she did Beyond Thunderdome, which was one of the Mad Max movies.
Oh, yeah.
She
Oh,
was she was hotter than hell. She was so beautiful and so sexy. And you're like, who the hell is that? Then you realize it's Tina Turner, and the lady could act.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's so many things that you go round and round. So this is where I'm getting to the next subject. What day of the week is your lady's favorite day?
not Monday. I hate Mondays so
Why?
much. Because it's like the end of the weekend and you have so much to do and everybody's, in your email and you got
That's
so much
true.
to do.
Gab?
I think Fridays are my favorite.
Yeah, I love Fridays, but I also like Thursdays because it's like Friday Eve. And then I know
Next.
Fridays.
What is yours, Tony? What is
Friday
yours?
Eve. I think
Friday
that's the
Eve,
thing.
Jesus Christ. Is that like pre-baked bread or something? I mean, Friday Eve.
It's like the cookie dough.
It's like the cookie dough.
Right
Ooh,
before
we're
you
so
bake it.
excited. And then you bake it and it turns out like shit. I mean, it's personally. What's your favorite day?
Always for me would just be a random weekday because I worked in the restaurant business for so many years. I didn't like to go out with crowds, so I like to go out like say on a Tuesday night or because it's just and to do your shopping in the day when everybody else is at work, and I just like a random weekday.
See, I've never had a normal life, so I don't know what my favorite day is actually every day because every day I get to do the shit I like and shit I like. But it's like you said, when Friday comes, it's like, oh. Then Saturday comes, it's like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Then Sunday comes, it's like, you motherfucker.
Sunday scaries.
Yeah, Sunday, because then you have to get,
That's what it's
so would you
called.
say it?
The Sunday scaries, and I get
Is
that.
that a true
so
state? Is that a
bad.
true thing?
That's a thing. The Sunday scaries is being like stressed and anxious about Monday.
No, isn't it?
See, I don't have a 9 to 5 or I don't have that.
Yeah.
Never did.
That's because Saturday is kind of like, you can fuck off. That's my best pinky blind. Gabby's shaking her head no. Gabby, that's really rude. You're not even Irish. I am. What? And it's just like that Sunday hits, and it's like, shit, tomorrow I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. And yeah, I never really thought of it that way until you just said that. Yeah. I'm afraid of Mondays now. So I'm going to live my life like it's
Mondays?
Friday. Sunday, Monday.
No, it's the she hate or something hate Mondays. It was about the school shooting of the girl who she was like the first school shooter.
Oh God!
And when they interviewed her after the shooting, they said, "Why did you do it?" She said, "I hate Mondays," and therefore the famous song. I hate Mondays.
Oh, well, there you go. I like Mondays just in case there's a friend of hers out there. It's a beautiful day.
Just another Manic Monday.
There's so many songs.
Manic Monday.
Okay, here's a good one for you. Y'all have birthdays?
I think so.
Okay. Do you think that it should be mandatory in the United States on your birthday you get the day off?
Yes.
Reason being?
I'm celebrating my birth. Why would you make me work that day?
Wow. Do you think you should get paid for that day?
Yeah, it's like paid time off. That's a birthday gift.
What about you, Tom?
I'm so old, I don't really, I'm not into birthdays.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting that I read an article in a newspaper the other day, and people at a company out of Georgia are, trying to get the union to add into their, something to do with cars and stuff, add into their contract, this next contract, that they get their birthdays off paid. Well, you think about it. If you're in management, you probably get it off. If the owner, you get it off. I just think it's interesting. I never looked at it that way to take it because it is a celebration.
I try to give all my when I worked at Target and I was manager of like the accessories and apparel. I tried to give all my girls their day off for their birthday.
I think it's a great thing to do.
People have plans.
Either that or, I mean, you got to have, if you're going to work on a day like that, you got to be able to have another day off or something. I mean, it'd be nice to do something like that. So, now, are you a big Harry Potter fan?
Yes, huge.
Okay, ladies? Okay, you Lord of the Rings fan?
Not at all because of the fucking feet. Freaks me the fuck out.
What's your house?
Say that
Sonny?
again. Say that
The
again.
fucking feet. I can't stand feet. And I went to the first Lord of the Rings movie, and what are they, the elf people, whatever. I saw the foot, and I was like, that's it!
They're hobbits. The elves didn't have
for
feet.
the rest of the fucking film, I couldn't even focus. I was out.
So you've never seen all the Lord of the Rings?
The fucking feet. Take the feet out of the movie. Maybe I'll go. I can't do it. But I love Harry Potter.
Well, you're going to ask, what house of what?
What's your house on Harry Potter?
Oh, Gryffindor, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Gryffindor.
Is the house based upon the characters?
I think you'd be Slytherin.
That sounds like it's a real sneaky, pathetic, fucking vile human being slithering like a snake. And I would match that, yes.
You would definitely.
No, is that
be
what it is?
Slytherin.
Is a personality based upon an animal or something?
No,
I've watched Harry Potter. I've never read the
there were
books.
the 4 people that started the school 1,000 years ago. Gedrick, Gryffindor, whatever name, Hufflepuff, Slytherin, and what was the other one?
So why was
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw.
was Slytherin? Wow, 3 ladies that know this shit, and I got no life. So was this is it person? Oh!
It's kind of based on your personality. So
Okay.
like there's a magic hat that they put on their head, right? And they can read basically your aura, your personality, and then they put you a part of a house.
Wow.
The Sorting Hat. Have you not seen the movies or read the books?
I've seen the movies. Let me repeat this. I've seen the movies. I haven't read the books.
Well, the movies say it all.
Yeah, but I don't remember any of that.
The books.
I was probably
Oh, I
enjoying
remember.
some pleasure during the Harry Potter movie. Excuse me.
I feel like I would've
My
been
mother
Hufflepuff.
got my daughter and her cousin the first issue every time they came out.
But weren't they like 700 pages?
My kid was little when it came out, and I read to her. There's not a picture. There were no movies yet, and I would read to her. Of course, every character has a different accent. I was Hagrid because of the name. That's how I heard it
second.
in my head.
That's pretty.
You said there's no
Accurate.
pictures in these books?
No.
Oh, definitely.
And so
I couldn't read them.
I just made
One of the reasons I don't like the Bible, ain't no fucking pictures. I don't read that goddamn thing. Why would show me a picture of Jesus ascending from wherever he's? Is it ascending? No, arising. Whatever the religious people think. In my world, we just say he went up. But no, I like pictures, so it's easier. You don't mind not having pictures?
most books I read don't.
Well, see, I read adult books, how-to manuals. Then they send you to the website to figure out.
Oh dear God, Jesus, stop.
That's true, though. Well, kids' books have pictures, so if kids can learn from pictures, don't you think us adults?
I am such a fan of Dr. Seuss books, I can't even tell you. Huge. Dr. Seuss touched on so many different things if you just have your mind open and read it. Brilliant. Brilliant. Love Dr. Seuss.
Well,
And there's also the cadence. I used to even read to my kid when she was still in my belly. I could not.
did you think that helped?
I think so. I read to my kid before she could, talk. And she has a love of books.
Mom, I love you, but you fucked me over. You didn't read anything to me. You read it all to my brother. That's why my brother's got all the brains. You always hear that stuff works, playing music and doing certain things when the babies.
I don't know if it does, but I thought, let's just introduce things. I always took my kid to museums and expos and zoos and everything I could.
Did you expose your daughter to different foods, different cultures as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
I think that's cool. So speaking of food, let me ask you, and guys, do you eat to live or do you live to eat?
Sadly, I live to eat. Yeah. I'm a food addict. There's no question in my mind.
Yeah. Ladies?
I live to eat, for sure.
Yeah?
Growing up, I lived to eat, and now I'm trying to get to a place where I eat to live.
That's good. See, I love food. Like I said, before I wake up in the morning, I think, when am I going to have my meal? Where am I going to have it? How am I going to do it? Who's going to be there? If they're going to bother me, if you get in my way. Can I go to this restaurant? Because I have people at the restaurant are going to be rude. They're going to talk. It's so fucking sad. That's before I do anything. And then I can't wait for the day, during the day.
We're in watermelon season, so that's my breakfast pretty much every day. Is my favorite thing. Always having cold watermelon in the fridge.
And tell who you share your watermelon with, please.
Always with dogs. Always. Dogs love watermelon.
Toni had shared this with me, that she shares with dogs. So where I'm staying, guy the other day had a watermelon in his hand. And I was like, kind of odd, just walking, not the rind, just, he goes, there's dogs in the neighborhood here. He walks around feeding the dog. I'm like, if that's how, I said, and then I said to him, which probably was inappropriate, I said, well, what do you have in your hands when you want to attract children?
Oh, for the love of God. Everybody knows it's a candy bar.
Well, they might be allergic to almonds.
Have you ever had salt on watermelon?
I don't
Salt?
put anything on it. Yeah, people put
Yes.
salt on it.
I grew up putting a little dash of salt on there. Oh,
I've had salt
supposed to
on
bring out the
cantaloupe.
sweet.
Yes.
It actually brings out the sweet.
And Laurie's seasoning salt on orange slices. Oh my word, it's so good.
A person who's in my life, Toby's mom, she would put salt on watermelon. I never did it, but it makes it sweeter.
No, I don't know. It's just the flavor.
A little bit of salt, just like when you make cookies, there's always salt in it, or cakes, because it brings the flavor out.
Yeah.
Like when we used to make a hot fudge at the restaurant, I'd always put a little bit of coffee in it because it's supposed to pop the flavor.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
So what if the people didn't want coffee?
They didn't know.
Oh, so these are the secrets behind the scene. Let's get to that. When you worked in restaurants, is there any shit? I worked in restaurants and I should have been fired from everyone. Well, I was fired from 4. But the other ones didn't catch. Are there things you would do and people wouldn't tip you, or people would piss you off, or other staff tried to like hog your tables? Tell us some of your secrets, and I'll share some of mine. Now, be honest. Now, this is in front of God.
I was younger that
What'd
I'm
you
not
do?
proud
What'd
of.
you do when you were younger?
Well, I always carried Visine in my waitress apron.
Doesn't that give you the runs? Mm-hmm. Wait a second. Okay, when you were younger, when is the last time you did that? Does that really? So now, well, let me ask you a question. If you want to really enjoy the bidet, you should have Visine in something. Get it a little bit longer in the. Okay.
I don't think today's formula works, but it used to. It used to. And just a couple of drops and a cup of coffee, espresso, whatever. Just make sure the right person gets the right cup.
See, I worked at a liquor store once in a small town in Sacramento. It was called Tahoe Talac Liquor Store. And the owner was just a piece of crap. But, paid us decently. We were right out of high school. So they always had these people come in that were rude and mean. And at that time, they had these beers called Mickey Big Mouths. I'm sure they still sell them. But you could twist it off and put the lid back on. So what we would do is when people would be assholes to us and we knew they were coming back in, we'd take a little bottle of urine and we'd dump out half, put it back in, and we'd sell it. Now, we had a guy that came in. He thought these were the great. He'd always say, these they only taste like this here. And we're like, we know, sir, we're special. And you just get a joy. Or if people are rude, you take the what is it, the beef jerky, you stick down the crack of your ass and then you hand it to him. And Gabby, you look like you've seen a ghost over there. These were in my younger years.
Well, I remember once, and I thought this was horrific. One of my bartenders, this was at Jerry's. He gave this guy his matzo ball soup. The guy kept sending it back. It's not hot enough. He was in tears. I go, give it to me. Give it to me. I had everybody spit in it. Then I put it in the microwave, and I made this bitch so hot, it was bubbling. It was bubbling. Then I took the fucking tablespoon and sat there with a lighter and lit the tablespoon on fire, just so the spoon would be so hot. I put the spoon down on the soup, put it down in front of the guy, and here's where it gets interesting. I go, here, let me fill your water for you. And I walked away so he didn't have cold water. Fuck you, you made my bartender cry.
Did you get a tip?
It wasn't my table. It wasn't even my guy, but he made my bartender cry.
I think it's interesting in every business we're at, you have a culture, whether it's the entertainment industry, whether if you're on a film or TV show, you have the people in front of the camera, but you have the people behind the scene that make it all work. But it's like its own little incestuous world. Mm-hmm. And the shit you do as people, I'll never forget, I worked at the Cheesecake Factory in the marina, and Buddy and I got a job there. And the great thing is for 3 weeks, they fed you. We ate like kings. We got to taste everything. It was just really great. So there was this cook who was just an a-hole because we go and say, look, this is at the table. We don't make this. I'm like, oh, okay, you don't make this, you don't make. So my buddy and I, first night we had a shift. It was on a Saturday, and we were like, damn, people are having fun. We got to work. So we quit. We took all the tables. We ordered everything. We put it in, and we just walked out.
Jesus.
So they called us, and they said, we'd like you to, come back, and we went and talked to him and stuff. Now, if you've ever been to the one in the marina, there's an inside, then there's an outside downstairs. And so we saw the chef, and we were like, okay, this guy just was not nice. He's rude to everybody. So he sat down, and it was a little warm out. Got up, and we're like, chocolate. Put chocolate on the chair. He sat out like he pooped himself. Oh. He got up and he walked to the restaurant. No one said anything to him. Everybody's laughing and everything. People are talking to him and everything. Then, what have you. So I guess somebody saw us and they told him it was us. So we're driving. We get out of there. Next thing you know, a cop pulls us over. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, we just played a prank on the guy. It wasn't too bad. Worse than the liquor store at Tahoe Talac. Come to find out the guy had a stomach problem. And he actually did grab himself. So the cop pulled us over and he goes, the guy called and he filed a complaint. And I'm like, well, how the hell is this so quick? The cop was at the restaurant store, and he said, you know what? what you guys did was wrong. You embarrassed someone. I said, well, first of all, this is out of your realm. But it was just very funny because he said, you do realize he had this problem. And he goes, do you guys feel bad? I'm like, no, we didn't feel bad.
No,
and
how the fuck
because
does
the guy
a cop get involved in a prank?
It was just really weird. But no, you ladies ever work at restaurants and do anything heinous or critical? Oh, wait a second. Gabby's moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. Gabby's now grabbing the microphone, and she's going to spill the beans in Santa Barbara's lovely restaurants.
No, I work in a restaurant, but I don't do any heinous things. But sometimes I'll get like a customer who's kind of a dick, but then I'll just smile and stay happy, and then they feel bad. So it's like I don't really need to do anything.
Oh,
Does
that's
that
sweet
make
of
sense?
you.
And sometimes I'll like.
Are you
spill
trying to
stuff.
get points to go to heaven, Abby? Gabby.
You keep calling me Abby, and it's really annoying.
I'm sorry. You can just
okay.
keep calling me Dick like she does.
I've quit on restaurants, and back in the day when you used to like write your ticket and you'd put your dupe in the kitchen. So I remember quitting one night. I was just so pissed at the owner. After I quit, I ran
Gabby.
through the kitchen and just pulled all the fucking dupes down, got rid of them, and then I left. Fuck you.
Well, I think it's great to be able to say "fuck you." Have you done that at a restaurant?
Well, the first restaurant I worked at was Wendy's when I was 15, and I didn't work at another food establishment since because a grown-ass man threw his tray of food in my face, and I was just like,
Well, you ever see
Went
on
home.
TikTok and you
yeah,
see those people at
people are
McDonald's
crazy.
throwing shit at each other and hitting each other and fighting each other, or pulling up and they want something from the window? It's kind of, are we boring you, Gabby?
no,
I'm
I
just
never did
curious.
anything heinous, but
Gabby's over there
I put
yawning.
like extra mayo on someone's
I had a
stuff if they
customer
pissed me
once.
off. I put like so
You
much
put a little
mayonnaise.
extra mayo. You're a hardcore girl.
Yeah. Or I would eat. No, actually, I didn't do anything heinous, but I remember like every batch that I would make all day, and I'd probably make like 100 batches of spicy nuggets at Wendy's. I would eat like 5 out of each bag.
There's nothing wrong
I'd be
with
putting
that.
it in my apron. I'd steal things.
Like a little squirrel.
little
with the
squirrel,
food.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I gained a
I
lot of
think
weight.
it's great when people talk, because you just don't understand that when you piss off the waiter.
Well, some people,
Oh, yeah,
I
no,
served
no,
a
don't
man
do it.
100 years ago in Florida, probably the 80s. He ordered a vegetarian omelet. I brought it out. And then he calls me over. This has meat in it. You've made me sin on my holy holiday. I ought to throw it at you. And I just go, you feeling strong? Like, I would have fucking cleaned his clock if he threw that
So
at
I
me.
said, was there meat in it?
What the fuck do I know? It's an omelet. I can't see inside it. The
Probably
cook
thought the
tells me it's
mushrooms
mine.
were-
Well, another thing is too, when you go to restaurants, and some restaurants are a la carte now, where they used to more. So if anybody's ever been to, what's the deli over on, oh my God, Fairfax,
Canners.
Canners. I go in there, Canners, out one night, had a great time. About 2 a.m, I order an omelet. So I look at the menu. So you order all these extra things. My waitress come back to the table with a piece of toilet paper hanging out of her nose. And she had got a bloody nose. And I thought, wow. So I got the bill. It was $29. And I looked at it, I said, well, it's not. She goes, honey. And she talked like, honey, you asked for everything but the fucking kitchen sink. What did you think it was going to be? I said, well, there were options. We don't do options here. Obviously, you don't come here. And you know what? You had 3 refills of, she was just like, all I could do was laugh. Because this lady with the freaking tampon hanging out of her nose was staring at me. But when you go to restaurants and they don't tell you that there's an extra
Because
cost.
as a waiter, it's a, sometimes I'll tell somebody, well, that they're going to charge for that. What do you think? I can't afford it? So you're walking that tightrope, whether you tell somebody or not.
See, my opinion is, if you're going out to eat, just go with the flow. I went to one of my favorite places, and a mother and son were sitting next to me. This was last week, and the mother kept saying to the son, nope, nope. And I'm listening, I'm going, nope. Because he kept wanting to order something. She goes, too expensive, too expensive. Here's the kicker. She paid with the Black American Express card. I looked at her, the bartender looked at her, and I said, she goes, the young lady was a bartender. She goes, this lady comes in with her family. She does this every time. You can't really be poor, I don't think, or you got to have a little bit of money to have a Black American Express, from what I understand. But so the poor kid ended up having 2 sliders and a children's thing of French fries. I'm like, oh my God, he's like an adult.
Yeah, you could put a Rolls Royce on a Black American Express. Yeah.
But it's amazing how people are when you go into a restaurant. You always also get to see your ladies. When you've gone out with a man, isn't the way a man treats the waiter or waiter a sign of how he's going to beat other people?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Ladies?
Yeah.
No, it is. See, I have fun with waiters and stuff. I just have a great time because I will pay them for their time. I don't give a shitty waiter. I pay him, but I have a blast. But when guys are just assholes to a waiter, and the same thing could be for a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
girls-
favorite waitress at Canner's, her name badge said, "Oh, miss." So she could do no fucking wrong to me. Just the fact that her name badge said, "Oh, miss." That was my favorite fucking thing in the world.
Yeah. Well, it's good to go to restaurants where you like people to wait on you and people wait on you and they know what you want. It feels good to go in so they know your order.
Yeah.
I'm one of those picky people. I go in and sometimes, someone else is going to wait on you. I went to Cheesecake Factory down in Huntington, and the guy said, "I'm sorry, sir. I just don't want to screw up your order." And I was like, "Am I that big an ogre?" He's like, "You're not very popular
Yeah,
here."
I don't have the strength today for you. I can't
Yeah,
do
I'm
it.
like, I was like,
Or
wow.
people tell me we'll have 4 cappuccinos. I'm like, I just absolutely not. I don't have the strength. You're the last table. No.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we go to Rayo's all the time, and
That's the restaurant the one you
we're
guys.
regulars.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they know our drink order because our drink order is a Grey Goose extra dirty martini with blue cheese olives.
Holy
And
crap.
they make it perfect. They just know exactly what we want every
Nice.
single time we go there. It's great. Makes you feel special.
I used to drink, I liked a Grey Goose martini.
So good.
Okay, what was the olive? A cheese olive?
Blue cheese stuffed
What?
olive.
You
Cheese
just
olive.
make stuff up. You just
I
make
said cheese olive. Or
No,
did I say cheese
blue
omelet?
cheese- blue cheese olives. So you get
Oh.
the little floaties
Green
around
olive
in
with
your
the blue
martini.
cheese in it.
Yeah,
Oh.
it sounds gross, but it's really good.
That's
So
like head
savory.
cheese. You guys ever have head
I'm not
cheese?
a blue cheese. I did, but, no.
I love cheese. Give me all the cheeses.
Head cheese is all the shit that fell on the floor. They put it back together, scrape it, go
Oh,
here.
that's like the last shot, the bartender shot. They take everything they can spill.
Ugh.
Okay, since all this stuff has to do with God, why is it so important? Why is it? No, I just think this is funny. Think about it. We've all had sex. Why do
I haven't.
I don't remember.
When you have
I'm
sex,
a
this is
virgin.
something you don't remember. You never have, Abby. We're gonna talk to Gabby.
All day.
I'm
Don't
only
lose your
doing it
shit.
on.
Don't
I'm
lose
only.
your shit,
Call me
Gabby.
Abby, and you're like, no, it's Gabby. You're literally gaslighting me.
He's
No,
gas-
I've always wondered, and think of this: those of you who have partaken in some carnal knowledge, why is it during sex women say, and men at times, "Oh God, oh God"? Think about it. Have you? It happens. Even when self-pleasuring people say, "Oh God," why is that? You know what someone told me once? It makes you feel closer to God. I'm like, no.
I don't say
I'm
that.
here.
God isn't who I'm thinking
because it's
about.
the best thing in the world. Just like when you see people win something. Oh my God. Right? It's the first thing they say.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's the first thing people say.
I've never won anything, so I would never say, "Oh God."
You've never won anything.
I've won life. That's what I think.
I'm pretty sure I've heard you say, "Oh my God," before.
I say, "Oh my God," but I'm just thinking it's in
You've
sex.
never
But why do
won
you say it?
anything?
Have I ever won anything? Won anything? Like
He doesn't take anything for free, so that
I don't
would-
take anything for free. So no, won. I don't really think.
Wow.
I've taken a lot of ass kicking, so I can't say I've won any fights. Have I ever won? I went to court, lost that. No, I literally, even when I was younger, I never came in first place. You know, when you're in school and they get a
No, but I mean
ribbon,
like
I got like
lottery
90.
ticket or something. Like I won a trip to London. You never.
I win like $2 on the lotto. That pisses me off. You motherfuckers are giving me $2. I'm trying for the 100 million. That's not winning to me. Right. But you know, I've won in life. I've won with family. I've won with friends. This is very sentimental right now. But no, but I've never won something big. Have you won something big?
I've won a few things.
You won a trip to London, you said? Where? How?
My husband at the time threw my fucking name in a bowl for a contest, and I get a call from a radio guy, and I'm like, "Richie, I know it's you. Stop us." So he goes, "How can I make you believe that it's?" I go, "Put me on the radio." And the guy put me on the radio, and I was like, "Oh my God!" It's back to "Oh my God," because I won a trip to London.
And Gabby, I do know your name. I apologize sometimes. Hey, sometimes when I introduce myself, instead of saying Dennis, I'll say Jesus. So it's a brain thing. So have you won anything, Gabby?
I've won dance competitions.
Oh, how cool.
Wow.
That's cool. Jai?
Unfortunately, have I? Yeah, I won a few things. More in like sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, wrestling.
Even in...
I've won.
Whoa. You wrestled?
Yeah, I wrestled in high school.
How fucking awesome. Are you serious?
I'm
That is so-
serious. I only did it for like a year because my mom wouldn't let me, and I did it secret
See, I
for like a
love
year.
that. Did you kick all the boys' asses?
Yeah, I wrestled anyone in my weight class. So anyone in my weight class, a skinny boy, you know.
That is good for you. There should be more of that stuff in life.
Oh yeah.
You know, you have
Those
parents nowadays that
character
literally
building.
will stop their boys from playing sports. If a young lady, there's a girl for Brown University this year, first one, she played baseball, first one Division I. She had a couple at bats, but the first one ever, she got a hit. Now you think about how our society is, where boys are supposed to be stronger. This girl knocked the shit out of the ball, and everybody cheered for it. It was just beautiful. I think it was 5 or 6 years ago, the young lady pitched in the Little League World Series. She almost won the championship. And it was a girl, and everybody's like, it's a girl. No, fuck. They're better than boys sometimes.
Yeah, if anything, we're more limber, you know.
Yeah, well, but also you think about boys and men take things for granted. And I really have never met a woman that really takes things for granted. I mean, they do because of the way they look at times, because of their attitudes.
Women, and we call them bitches.
Well, wait a second. Isn't there another word you call them too?
Chimney.
And another word, should I go A, B, C?
See you next Tuesday.
Girls can call each other that. When a guy does it, you're a fucking idiot. So yeah.
Yeah, don't call me a cunt.
Well, yeah,
I'm
that's
pissed.
not what I'm saying. Jesus Christ. I'm going to call you Wrestle now. The wrestler.
No.
No. But see, I think that is great, though. Mark, have you won anything? Like a big prize or something that you've won? Because I've won nothing. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah. No, my whole childhood was just sports, and like winning, like trophies was like, that was the driving force. So yeah, we're always competing for all-star teams and championships and stuff. Yeah.
You know, it's sad because
a
I did
winner.
make all-star teams, but most people told me I made it because of my brother. My first year I went to high school, I'll never forget this. This coach said to me, he goes, the only reason you got in high school is because of your brother. And I was like, how many fucking things in my life am I going to get into? Well, and I realized my brother must have been a criminal at some time because that's how I got into the criminal world. But no, it's funny.
Yeah, I did sports things. I got ribbons.
Yeah, you've won a lot. You've done
horseback riding when I was a kid.
Wow. You must have
horseback
money.
ride. See, I've been on horses 3 times. Broke my arm once, almost lost my leg, and the other one I cried like a baby bitch boy.
No, I get along good with animals.
Man, I do too from a
animals.
distance. Yeah, I do from a distance. But no, I just think it's interesting. We've gone over so many topics. But the thing is, when it comes to...
I didn't do any topics today.
Well, neither did I. This was all some prepared... It was one of the elves. I gave him a job. Someone's got to pay the fucker. But no, it's funny that if you look at things, that everything we're talking about just comes full circle. But one of the big things is, it's like in competition, it's like now you have like the World Cup's coming up and our women, hope to God they win. They're just awesome. And you see this, but you still have people out there that negate women for their ability in sports. And they say, okay, men are stronger. We understand that. It's a whole different physical. But women competing against women, this is what I want to ask. What do you think of this situation where if a guy decides that he wants to transition, that he's allowed to play sports against girls? And I can understand that, but I just think it's wrong because if the testosterone levels are much higher, blah, 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 this, that. But these other advocates for the gay and lesbian community who are upset at people for saying that the girls don't need to share a locker room with the guy. They don't. I don't care. But I just think I do care. I just think it's harsh that now we've got people who want equality and they want justice for themselves. They're saying that you have to accept someone. And we don't know if someone's changing, we don't know whatever, but the situation where young women are put in that vulnerable position, that's got to be the most traumatic thing. You were shaking your head, Gabby. What do you think?
I don't know. Like, it's such a tricky topic, you
Yeah.
don't want to step on anyone's toes, but also there is the biological component where you do have an advantage because of testosterone.
Yeah.
You have more muscle
Yeah.
than a biological woman.
Yeah. Jai?
Yeah, I think it's super nuanced. I mean, as a person who's literally competed against men too, yeah, I don't know, because I've competed against men and I literally wrestled and won against men too, but that's because we had to measure weight and we had to measure like strength and stuff like that. So like someone who was 100 pounds heavier than I was, I couldn't wrestle or anything like that. But
What about you?
I think we have to explore it a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's enough issues or trauma in this world where people should not have to have it put upon them by people making laws. And if you want equality in certain things, then why do you want to negate the people who are trying to have their own voice. I just think there's enough on that. And by the way, we're almost done with the show. We have 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Anyhow, want to thank you for tuning in to My Opinion, You're Welcome. You can find us on all social media platforms, and we really appreciate it. And Toni?
And yes, 0. Good night.
What's your handle? Where can people find you?
_Mama_Toni.
At the Dennis Henning.
That's it.
On all
Thank you.
socials.
I got enough.